Hey, we've been consistently putting out these videos for you guys every day. We're gonna keep doing it. It's a little bit exhausting. Of course, you trade, I make my percentage. I have to take screenshots. I post on Instagram, and everything just gets redirected at each other. But I really am amazed at how many people have been reaching out to me, just saying this is helping. Every single day, I get 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 messages. This is helping me. This is helping me. So that's what we do, right? We literally enjoy helping people because this is something that changed the game for me. It changed the game for me. So why do I want to keep it to myself? I didn't make this strategy up. This is just how the market works. And this is what I trained my eye to notice and pay attention to. So as you guys know, I trade around the 4-hour time frames. The Wakefield Wizards trade around every 4-hour candle. What does this mean? It means if you are not awake by 6 a.m. for the New York Open, the New York Open kind of is before, but open candle slash push, it's okay. There are always other opportunities. And yes, I messed up here. Like a big thing that people don't understand when they're trading is that they just keep rushing. Like you just rush a trade. Like this morning, I didn't wake up till 9:40. My wife says, Kyle, do you want to trade 10 a.m.? I said, I broke my trading plan because I have a very bad headache. I was up very late last night. And part of my trading plan, I'll bring it up so you guys can see, is I don't like to trade when I have a headache. Why? Because I have clouded judgment. My head is not properly working. My brain is not properly working because I have a headache. So I will show you in our team trading plan, under the plan, Kyle, do not trade if you have a headache. It's number one on my list. And I did. So I broke my trading plan, but I was hungry for money and I was hungry to grow the account with the team. So going back to the idea that we trade every 4 hours, right? So if you do not have a setup directly at 6 a.m., like if it's not clear as daylight, just move on. I just move on to the next 4-hour candles. That's literally how I trade. That's literally how I trade. So you can see this morning, we'll block everything, and you'll see if we go to the 4-hour time frame. Okay, here's 6 a.m. followed by 10 a.m. What's significant about it? We closed above or a little bit below resistance, but with huge bullish momentum. And we're in between a zone. How do we know that? Because we look left. We can see these wicks, and we can see these wicks. So we're literally in between zones. So when you're trading momentum, this is literally how I draw my zones up. I don't usually have any more than 2 to 3 zones up at a time because I don't need it because I trade momentum. So if the momentum is going to keep going, then where do we know when to close? So you can see from the very beginning of the candle, there's that many pips, and then to the next zone, it's that many pips. So you can see just trading momentum in between zones, it's cakewalk. It's super simple to be able to look at a chart and say, okay, well, the momentum is telling us that we're going bullish. Yes, it can be that easy. Is it that easy? No. But can it be that easy? Yes. We as human beings overcomplicate trading. And a lot of people don't have, number one, a trading plan, and number two, I guess they don't stick to their trading plan if they don't have one, right? But really, number two is people either they don't really have the patience or they just don't have something that works for them. So for me, what works for me and what I teach my group of students, and actually they're teaching me a lot of things too, which is kind of ironic, and I love it. This is the whole point of helping people learn how to trade is everybody grows no matter what because we all have something to learn. But when we're trading momentum, and you can clearly see as daylight that if we're in between a zone, we are going to the next zone, right? So then you go down to the 15-minute time frame and you see what is price doing. We have a cross, and then of course, it just kind of was setting up. Eventually, price closes above resistance, so boom, that's your signal already for we are going to the next zone. So you knew at least from this point here, it was at least 10 pips to the next zone. So that's how you gauge. And then, of course, if you're taking your buys, guys, this is literally my strategy, and I'm just telling it to you. So if you're not taking notes or taking any value in it, if I see any negativity in the comments below, usually I'll just delete it or I'll harass you back, because it makes no sense to post negativity when literally this is what's making me money in the Forex market. Of course, we have the cross. So this is where buys are, and then this is where stop loss is going to be. Stop loss will be below the most recent support. Even if it comes very close, it doesn't matter. You just got to allow it that breathing room. But it was just setting up. It was marching. Look at the 5 minute higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Continue to go into momentum bullish. Followed by the 1 hour, a new higher low, close above resistance. So where are we going? To the next zones. That's how price works. That's how momentum works. Momentum works this way. The moves happen like this. Boom. Look at Kajapi. Look at Kajapi. Same exact thing. Look at how strong the 4 hour candle was. And we hadn't really touched the zones yet. Look how strong it was. Like, why would it be going down? Why? It's so strong, it wants to continue momentum. And that's where the lower time frame comes in. Because, of course, look at this huge break. And then higher high, higher low. Higher high, higher low. Another higher high, higher low. And this is where all of our buys were. Our buys were actually here. And then we wrote out some drawdown. And then, of course, it made another higher low. And then this is where my scalp was. I am not in the trade at all anymore. I bagged my percentage. And then I closed. Because that's just me. I didn't place, I had my stop loss in profit. But then I did a calculation. And then if it came and hit my stop loss, it was a few percentages less. So I wanted to take the full percentage that I was comfortable with. If it keeps going, great. It doesn't matter. Why does it not matter? Because there's always another setup. There's always another freaking setup by trading 4 hour momentum. There's always, we can go all the way up here. Great, I missed out. Who cares? This is why I have a relaxed trading style where if when I'm trading, I know that every 4 hours price can potentially set up for a push. So that's how I'm gauging. That's how I'm gauging. That's how I'm gauging my interpretation of price action, is I only want high probability. That's all I want. All I want is high probability. This is high probability. Huge momentum on top of pretty much resistance, but in between zones. There it is. Boom. That's how you gauge it. That's how you know where to put your take profit. Then you start writing your stop loss in profit. Do whatever you do best. Tweak it. Make your own strategy. That's what my students have done. They took my strategy and we all traded together. Just like this morning, we took the live trade together. Guys, I'm telling you, it can be that easy. You just overcomplicate it. It doesn't matter if you're making $100 a day, $200 a day, $3,000 a day, $100 grand a day. Forex, the only reason why people are not succeeding in Forex is because they're not making a trading plan. And then if they make a trading plan, they're not following their trading plan. And then they don't have a strategy that actually works for them. So for us, what really works for us is momentum. Because you cannot stop a boulder from rolling downhill, right? Didn't we learn this, guys, with freaking Indiana Jones? Right? Didn't you guys learn this? Right? During the boulder scene, right? Like, what was gonna stop? What was gonna stop this freaking candle from continuing to follow momentum? Like, well, just watch this clip with me, guys. When you see a boulder rolling up or rolling downhill, what is it going to do? It's going to keep rolling downhill. So what happened here? In this case, our boulder was rolling uphill, but it's the same principle. So let's watch this. I want to watch this with you right now, because this is how momentum works. This is how momentum works. You're done, Indiana Jones. You better start running, because you can't stop it now, baby.
Give me the whip. Throw me the idol. No time to argue. Throw me the idol. I throw you the whip. Give me the whip. Adiós, señor.
That's when your stop loss gets hit and he says, adios, senor. Right? Right? Keep watching. Keep watching. This is momentum. This is momentum. All right, here it comes. Here it comes. Oh, wow. That didn't last long. Wait for it. This is momentum, guys. You cannot stop a boulder from rolling downhill. You cannot stop it. You cannot stop it. You see it? You see it? What's stopping this? Nothing. Nothing is stopping the boulder. Nothing is stopping the boulder. Nothing was stopping the boulder. Nothing was stopping the boulder. Right? Nothing was stopping the boulder. Let's do it again. What was stopping the boulder? We are in between zones. We have higher time frame momentum. We have a cross. We have a rally off the 14 EMA, and price is just setting up for a big push. Higher highs, higher lows on the 5-minute. CAD Jappy, same thing. Higher highs, higher lows. Huge EMA distancing. Confluence. Now, check currency meter. Ding, 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 ding. Look how strong CAD was all morning. And the Japanese yen was so weak. Even US dollar. This is why I even looked at CAD Jappy this morning, is because on the Canadian dollar was so strong and the Japanese yen was so weak right at 10 o'clock. So I said, well, let's just check out CAD Jappy. And what did we see? We saw momentum. And then the currency meter is telling us that we're favoring the Canadian dollar, so we're going to keep pushing into that momentum possibly. Price will do whatever she wants. But price also made us money today. And that's how we trade momentum, guys. That is how we trade momentum. I broke my plan with my headache, and my head still is hurting so bad right now. You guys have no idea. It's pounding. It's pounding. I do not trade when I have a pounding headache, but I did. So I broke my plan. That's rule number 1 not to do. Don't break your plan. You know what? Let's put that in here. Do not break your plan. See, this is why trading plans are always changing, guys. Because people are always growing, and they're seeing what works, and they're seeing what doesn't work, and then they keep changing their plans around. Right? So that's what we do. Do not break your plan. That's what we're changing this to right now. Just to remind us, do not break our plan. So our plan is don't trade if we have a headache, but I traded. That was my mistake. So when you guys are making your trading plans, you need to figure out, what kind of person you are and how it helps you when you're trading the markets and what doesn't help you when you trade the markets, right? So I put some things about me. And then trade if you have higher time frame momentum. Boom, we did. You done your daily routines. I took my shower. That's part of my daily routines. Currency meters in favor of trend. Just a bonus. Yes, Canadian dollar was strong. Jappy was weak. You have a clear mindset. I didn't, so I messed up. You can identify structure. We were able to identify structure. Higher highs, higher lows. We plotted out zones. You can clearly see which direction momentum is going. Clearly, Indiana Jones saw that the momentum of the boulder was rolling downhill. So of course our boulder is not going to be able to roll uphill, but in this case of momentum, we have bullish and bearish trends. So you keep the same analogy intact, and you apply the fact that you cannot stop the trend from going the direction that it wants to go if it's showing you the signs that it wants to continue going in the direction of that trend. So in our case, it was bullish. You could not have stopped it. So your next step is you want to check out how many pips into your next zone, because that's really where you're gauging that you're going to place your TP at. Because you can just close at 10, which I usually do, or you can see where the next zone is, and that's potentially where your TP is going to be. In this case today, I closed almost everything at 10 pips from all of our entries. And I just bagged the 15%, and I didn't want to deal with it anymore because it was ranging. I don't care if it goes further. You know why? This is why we have a trading plan. This is why, because, where'd it go? because we have an opportunity every 4 hours. What does that look like when you look at a chart? Like every 6 hours, that means that if you're trading 5 pairs and every 6 hours you have a potential opportunity, right? So let's do the math. You've got 1 pair equals 6 opportunities a day, right? So 2 pairs equal 12 opportunities a day. 3 pairs equal 18 opportunities. And it keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So when you're not knowing where the trend is going to go, you revert to your plan. My trading plan is we trade if you can clearly see which direction momentum is going, right? So USD Jappy, we can clearly see that we're going bullish. CAD Jappy, we can clearly see that we're going bullish to go retest those other zones. It's clear. It's clear. So when you're trading around momentum and you're looking at those higher time frames, you're able to judge based off of a higher time frame if the momentum is going to keep going. Like this morning, so 6 a.m. had a wick fill. I wasn't up, so I didn't trade it. I only got on for the 10 a.m. So you can see, look at the momentum of the wick fill that kept going up. And if you looked at the chart, we had a very similar setup. Look, right at 6 o'clock for the 6 a.m. push as UJ did for 10. It was the exact same setup. Look, ding, 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 ding. It's just rallying. It wants to go. And what did Kajapi do? The exact same thing 4 hours prior for the 6 a.m. push. That was for the 4-hour 6 a.m. push. This is why I trade around high probability times around the higher time frames. I'm giving you guys my secret out there. This is the same thing I do with my team. The only difference is we do it live together every single day. That's the only difference. But you guys are getting very similar knowledge. Of course, you don't have everything. You don't have all the knowledge. You don't have everything. You still have to apply it. But that's why we do it together live. But these are the secrets of momentum, guys. You can simplify your trading, but it's up to you. Of course, you guys can follow me on my Instagram. My Facebook, which is just my name. Same as my YouTube. And then, of course, my email. If you guys want to reach out to me personally, I get so many of them a day. If I don't get back to you too soon, just know that it's in the loop. I try my best. I'm only human. I make mistakes. But this is momentum, guys. This is momentum. Hope you enjoyed the video.